Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of IndieCraft. Today, we're doing a build suggestion from Nabisco 1120, and the suggestion was to add to our town the one thing that will fuel this whole series, and that is going to be a Pupusaria. So, thank you, Nathalie, for the idea. Let's get down to the basement before we go too crazy here and do an intro for today. So, I believe I've played a Season 3. I think I've played you a Season 4. We're still sitting on Season 2, the Season 2 special. Of course, the Season 5 and our mystery sound. No one's had any preferences so far. So I'm gonna hit you with Season 2 today. That's gonna be our intro today. Let's hit it.
Building skyscrapers in the sky. Run to the house before we die.
Man, what a jam. What a jam.
Create some storage for
Oh, what the heck?
my
Oh, yeah.
so I can get
This is funny.
vibes draw near.
I actually don't know, even years ago, back when the series was running, if I've ever played the full version of the song. There was more to it originally, and it was just far too long to throw on a YouTube video, so I never used it. That's hilarious. I myself forgot it was on there. So our storage is a bit of a disaster situation right now, so sorry about that. But we're going to go ahead and build a bridge. I might even just make this like a whole cool platform area. Let's get maybe a stack of these. But yeah, so today I'm going to bridge across, because I kind of want to build the Pupusaria over here. So one of the things I want is to eventually have like paths and everything that really binds the whole town together. And I'm thinking for this bridge that it's just something like, I don't want to say chaotic like in a bad way, but something that just feels like, oh, this is a little bit like formed into the nature. So I don't want it to really be like a straight, perfect line across, but we'll just build it across this way. But thank you, Nathalie, for your suggestion so much. And if you're watching this episode right now is a great time while I'm haphazardly throwing a bridge together. It's a great time to leave your own suggestion down below. So if you got a suggestion for what I should build in the next episode, leave it now right below. We're going to be expanding out. So I love when things kind of fit into a town layout. Don't feel like it has to. I've done all sorts of weird builds before that weren't necessarily like town-like, but that's where my head's at right now. So if you have something that would just mesh nicely into the town we're going to be constructing, then I'll consider it more highly. I don't know that I will, but at this moment, I'm going to say maybe I will. So let's get this bridge across. I kind of want these to be half slabs, actually. I think I was building them originally with full, but I think this will look a little nicer with half, so I might rip those out later. So anyways, last episode, we did a big old resource run, got some diamonds, which was probably the thing I was most excited about. We also got, what else did we get? Lots of iron and copper and stuff like that, of course. We are now like adequately stocked up on some stuff. I even collected some wood before filming today because I knew I wanted to use it for this and probably the Pupusaria too. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't starting the episode completely starved for resources. So I did collect just a little bit of that. I think I kind of like this. I know this bridge is not like gorgeous in any way, but I also kind of like that it just feels a little smooth. What I'm going to do here is actually put on a light streak through the middle. I think that will look fairly nice if we do that, and it won't be expensive to do. But yeah, I probably won't do a resource episode like that again for, maybe ever, but maybe just for a while. We'll see. If it's something you guys want to see, or maybe some more like adventure focused episodes, like I think I mentioned like going to the end at some point, we can always do it. I'm totally opposed to the idea, but of course the goal of the series is building, and that's what I want to do. So, and I can't really do, I guess if you guys have adventure ideas, we can do those, but I can't really do build ideas while I'm mining. So just let me know though. I'm always happy to both mix it up and to keep building stuff. So now that I have a little bit of a baseline for resources, building stuff hopefully won't be as painful where I'm just out of resources, like barely scraping by and collecting wood as I have in the previous 2 episodes. So anyways, please leave your build suggestion down below. Let's rip out these trees while we're talking here. So my initial idea for pupusas was maybe we could just use cookies to substitute, because there's not really a cookie in Minecraft. I mean, there's not a pupusa in Minecraft. I don't have any cocoa leaves that I've found yet, but it's still a possibility. For this episode here, the cookies might just be the friends we made along the way, if we're being honest. Because I don't have any like fantastic ideas. I could just put bread for sale, but to me that seems pretty pathetic. So don't have any great ideas for what to do in lieu of not having like an actual pupusa. There are some pupusa mods out there, guys. So I guess we could start modding this whole series up like crazy, and I could just have a pupusa mod to add pupusas. But I would be all for that, just for like the theme of the game. But my main hesitancy in doing that would be if I had a bunch of mods and then one broke in the game, or like when the game updated, didn't get updated. It's mostly just the complications of having mods. So I'm not opposed to it if I thought it would be like a fun thematic thing. I don't really want to do like a whole, modded series here, but if I thought it fit thematically, I could do it. But I don't know. If there's any ideas, I know resource packs may be a little more stable than like a mod pack would be, and also more flexible between versions. So maybe a resource pack is not a bad idea, but I'm also not sure exactly what our capabilities would be. Like if we'd be able to do everything we wanted with a resource pack in terms of adding some new food items and stuffs like that. But anyways, I hope you're all having a great week. Last week, I asked everybody what their highlights and their lowlights was. And first of all, I'm grateful for everyone who commented, but I feel that it's my responsibility to whine and tell you I didn't get enough comments on how everyone's week was, what your highlights and lowlights were. So here I am again. Give me your highlights and your lowlights for the week so we can talk about what's going on. I'm recording this episode again a little bit late, and it's a little bit of a mix because it's somewhat intentional. I don't want to get ahead on episodes for this series because I like having the context of the week prior to talk about. So I don't necessarily want to be like so far ahead on this series. Like I would never like record 2 episodes back to back, but I do also need to make time on Thursday or Friday to actually get it done. So it's a bit of a tough situation where I want both. I want to be efficient and ahead on things, but I also don't want to be that ahead on things so that I'm narrating the episode ahead of what you see. And that seems kind of lame to me for this series. It's also just I would have less things to talk about if I tried to like bulk record. So I need things to actually happen in my life to have interesting things to say. So let's build this pupusaria right here. And I'm thinking we'll do a bit of I have an idea in my head, a little bit of a mixture of cobble wood, simple construction here. Probably won't, I'm not saying it's going to blow anyone's mind right now, but I do love me some pupusas. There's nothing better. I have gone to the country of El Salvador several times. And let me tell you, it's nothing better. You wake up early in the morning. I was going to say on a nice cool morning, but cool mornings don't really seem to exist in El Salvador. But wake up on a nice morning and you go find some nice old abuelita serving some pupusas, and you're like, homegirl, give me them 4 pupusas for $1. She hits you with 4 pupusas for $1. They're searing, violent heat, burns your mouth, but you put the curtido, which is like a cabbage vinegary stuff on top. It's just, I can taste it as I speak right now. And oh boy, breaking my sides. Just makes me dream. So all I know at this moment is I'm in the wrong country and I need to go back because, gosh, I could really do for some pupusas. Let's actually, I was going to do that out of that, but let's do spruce logs maybe for the main walls. I also, before we do anything else, let me grab some sand. Let's do a half stack. Get some glass going so that was not the right place for glass. Okay, get some glass going so we can put windows on this place. But yeah, it's like the premier way to start your day, so I highly recommend it. I've do it here in America sometimes too, but it doesn't hit the same. Making your own pupusas, I don't know. It's hard to explain. So I'm gonna make this building a little bit deeper. I don't typically build on an angle like this, but I'm gonna give it my best shot here. So let's grab this oak. I think I want to go one higher. Let's go to here and to here. So, anyways, your homework for this week, not only should you tell me how your week's been, but your homework for this week is if you haven't had a pupusa, you don't know what it is, I guarantee if you're in a city, it might be harder if you live, like I live very far because I live in a rural area. So I live very far from a pupusaria. So I have to make my own. Otherwise, I need to drive about an hour and a half. But if you live in a city of any size, I guarantee you could find a pupusaria. Please go out and get a pupusa. It will change your life. If you've never had one, first of all, I feel sad that you haven't. Wow. Have I seen this big hole behind my house? That's cool. Okay. Well, I feel very sad that you haven't, but it is a problem that's very easy to fix by simply going. It's one of those foods that'll just change your experience with food. I will go that far to say. Once you've had it, you'll be like, wow, where has this been all my life? It's one of the greatest foods in the universe. Now, I'm gonna be like totally frank. I spent more than a year of my life living in El Salvador. And I'm gonna tell you right now, sorry, any Salvadorian fans I may have had, Salvadorian food is not it. Overall, they're really obsessed with this stuff called yuca, which is like I'm just going to describe it like a potato. It's not really a potato, but it's kind of like potato, and it's just horrendous. I don't know. So Salvadorian food, I would say, is generally a miss, and they have a whole lot of foods that are named by things we know in America, probably because of Mexico, like under a different name. Like enchiladas are different. They have quesadilla. Quesadilla is like a thick, sweet, cakey bread in El Salvador. It's not the quesadilla you and I have grown to know and love. So, not that Taco Bell quesadilla action. So, Salvadorian food, it's a bit of a mixed bag in my opinion, but the pupusas, they never fail. They never fail. There are different spectrums of pupusa too, but I don't know that there's a bad one, is what I will say. So, you'll find better ones for sure. But I like them all. I do genuinely like any pupusa you feed me. So let's do this here. Anyways, so this week on YouTube, it's gonna be tough because I want windows. I'm trying to think here. I want windows in these walls too. But I want to make sure this wood is incorporated in a meaningful way. Maybe instead of doing the cobble all the way up, I just do the cobble in the wood here. I think I will do this because then that leaves me room to do glass. I kind of want to do double tall glass. I think I will use full blocks. Yeah, let's try this. We'll see if this design kind of works for us. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. Anyways, this week in YouTube, a lot of new videos on the channel. Cassie and I are in full force now with our new Skyblock Minecraft series, which we're pretty excited about. That's been very fun getting back into. Skyblock is one of those things that, in a way, itself is almost as timeless as Minecraft, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because you don't really see a lot of the new stuff that's changed in the game, but in a way is almost more nostalgic for me than the regular game can be. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's difficult for me to even understand as I'm saying it, but in a way it kind of is. So we're going to make this really simple as a building because most of the time pupusas, you just get them on the street. There are good pupusa restaurants, don't get me wrong, but a lot of times you just get them on the street from a vendor, and that's like the peak what happens. So we're going to put the actual pupusas out, like fresh. Okay. We'll do this like so. We'll make a cool design on the floor. But yeah, it's been an interesting week in YouTube. What I've continually find myself with YouTube always feeling is YouTube's it's hard to be successful. We've had some RuneScape videos we've done do really well, which has been extremely exciting. Obviously, we want our videos, like, we're doing them for fun, and we're going to do them either way. But we also, like, want our videos to get views, which is obvious statement, right? And so it's hard. Like, the RuneScape stuff, some of it's done very excellent, where it's got a bunch of views, and then we'll have the next episode not get it. The whole YouTube landscape it's unpredictable. I know there's, like, a school of thought out there that, oh, you know, if, like, a video doesn't do well, then it's just a video the audience isn't interested in, which has a lot of truth, I think, in the more, like, daily trying to make, like, a viral video kind of thing, or, like, one big video. But it's really hard when you're doing, like, a series. You're like, oh, this episode of RuneScape, like, 800 people watched, and this one, 5. It's like, okay, what do you do with that? And, like, they weren't distinctly different, and their stats weren't distinctly different. Now, they have different, like, titles and thumbnails, so, like, obviously that's a big part of, like, people clicking on your video. But sometimes it just feels a little weird. You're like, well, the stats are great on it, but YouTube like didn't show it to as many people, which is interesting. Which, you know, maybe the last video had an impact. Anyways, thoughts on videos? I don't know. Basically, the whole fact of the matter is right now, it's very hard to determine. We want to figure out a balance of like, if we're just doing something and loving it, we're going to probably keep doing it. But we're also trying to figure out a good balance of like, how can we make sure we're doing things that like people want to watch and that are overall, they don't have to be like wildly successful by any normal metric. But we do want to figure out things that are like actually people will want to watch. So they're successful because, they're not successful just because we're just chasing that, but for success. But we are chasing it. We want to be, most importantly, my sister and I want to be YouTube millionaires. That is our number one goal. So if you could help us along the path with that, that would be fantastic. Gosh, I need more birch. I just don't have. I did chop a little birch before I got here, so I guess we can grab just a hair more birch. Anyways, YouTube's confusing, but if you're interested in the Minecraft series, it's running. We're doing Skyblock. We're doing it vanilla, but we have a bit of a mod pack in there. I'm sure I mentioned this last week, so apologies for just, probably repeating myself a million times between episodes of this. It's long enough in between filming, I don't necessarily remember every word I said, so please forgive me. Please grant me forgiveness for my grievances. Okay, these center things, I think I'll just put a spruce log in because I'm going to put glass in the ceiling so sunlight gets in. And then we'll do big old glass windows. I think you can't do half glass panes. So I guess what I want to decide here is, I kind of want to do this across, but I think it's going to make it a little more claustrophobic. I don't think I like it. I'm going to do the big windows. We're going to risk it on the big ones here. That'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to make this cobblestone go all the way down. So anyways, go check it out. And if you're interested in RuneScape, go check that out too. I think they're both great. I'm really enjoying, we're obsessing over the RuneScape series, which I know is not why you tune in to watch a Minecraft video, but we're having a really good time playing RuneScape. It's a super nostalgic game for us. So if you just want to see me and my sister goofing off and having fun, that's the series I can recommend. So anyhow, this week as well, I have been booking flights. I've booked a lot of flights this week. I need some more torches. Let's grab some. We can grab a lot of this. I actually, this year, have traveled for work in February and March. So my job, which is always a mixed bag. Travel for work, on one hand, is cool because like your work is bringing you somewhere cool usually. But on the other hand, can suck because you end up like sitting in a conference room a lot of times for the entire trip. So work travel is always a mixed bag. I usually find that I'm very happy to be back after work travel. I didn't mean to put those there. I'm going to be honest with you. I meant to put them on the slab, but I kind of like how they look. This is a little more modern and vibey than I was planning on making this place. We're going to have to keep rolling with it. But work travel is always interesting because, I don't know, I find that I'm just more exhausted after it. And so that's probably like my negativity. But yeah, I'll be going to one city I've never been before. I guess I can just say it's a big city. No one's going to dox me. I'll be going to New York in February, which will be pretty cool. I've never been to New York City. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that will be a very fun new experience. I also have friends there, so I'm going to be seeing them. So I'm looking forward to first time there. I need to figure out some tables in this room. I think I'm going to be real basic and do like the fence post trapdoor table. We'll see what we can pull off. But yeah, I'm excited to go to New York and then later on going to Arizona. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not even trying to avoid like getting doxxed. I just straight up don't remember the city I'm going to in Arizona. But I'm going to somewhere in Arizona. But that's also a great place to go because I have friends in Arizona. So I'm going to see some of my friends in Arizona that probably comment on this video because they watch the series. So, in fact, our request today comes from one of said friends. So, let's do. Honestly, I don't have a lot of room for seating in here, so we're gonna keep this pretty small. I may even like do them up against the wall. Okay, how doth this look? That's kind of cool. Yeah, maybe we just do it like so. Then I don't want to cram it. Is 2 enough? I think 2 is enough. I don't want to do any more than that. So let's put 2 more here. Those there. We'll do a chair. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, then we just need, I forget what they're called. What are the big tables in Latin? Not tables. The big, like, stovetops in Latin America called. I don't know. There's a word for it. I don't recall what it is, but we'll put that in there. Let's take a sleep, which we can now do now that we finally have a freaking bed. But then after that, later in the year, I'm actually going to be going to Japan. So I booked all those flights. So if you want to dox me, I'll be in New York, I'll be in Arizona, I'll be in Japan, all within the next 6 months. So I am always excited to travel new places. But also, oh look, I had a bunch of doors. What the crap? 13 doors. 13 doors. What am I freaking doing with my life? Anyways, I'm always excited to travel new places, but there is an element of me. Traveling is great, and it's also very tiring. I cannot remember right now. Is an iron block 4 iron? I think it's 9, right? Ooh, no, I don't want to deal with. That's tempting to make the stovetop out of iron trap doors. This is a very good use for our very limited supply of iron, by the way. Let's do 2 blocks of iron. And then let's freaking do it. Let's do a trap door. I might need to, let's make a lever because I think we can hide it if we do the lever. Let's see if we can hide. Actually, you know what? I don't know why I did that. Let's do, where do I keep my redstone? Do I keep it in rocks? Minerals. I'm just going to do, I know I just made levers, but let's go ahead and do it with redstone torches instead, which look totally different, by the way. They've changed the texture. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Travel has this effect where I really like it. Often I feel very tired afterwards. It could be those. I'm sure those who travel understand it can be very draining. But I don't want to just be like, oh, my life's so hard. I had to travel. So the work travel is not a choice. But I guess it's a choice in the sense of having a job is a choice. But you know, maybe I was gonna hide the levers, but maybe if I put them back here. Yeah, is that kind of cool actually? I kind of like it. Feels like they're kind of working back here. I want to put fire in here, but I just don't think I really can, to be honest with you. Okay, I hate the recipe book, but I want to remember how to make a frame. Okay, I just don't know how to make a frame. Okay, an item frame is leather surrounded by sticks. I do have leather, so we can do this. The only question is, can we put an item frame flat? I'm like pretty sure it can be done. Let's make 2 of these. Beautiful. Our iron trap doors are gonna have to move, but that's okay. We'll make 2 item frames. That's step 1. And then I think for the moment, it's gonna be a little goofy, but I think for the moment, I do want to put cookies in there because I think that's the best. I know a cookie doesn't necessarily look like a pupusa, but it's the closest thing I think I'm gonna get right now where I'm at in the game. So let's make a cookie. We'll put bread in there for the moment, though. So, anyhow, I'm looking forward to traveling. I don't know if anyone else is doing any traveling this year or staying at home. Hopefully, it's a good, safe year for travel. I had almost entirely work-related. I had a very traumatic last year. I would say kind of last season traveling. I was keeping track at one point because it got so out of control. Oh, yeah, baby. They do not look like pupusas at all, but our options are quite limited at the moment. So it is what it is, okay? We're doing the best we can out here. No, I had a rough sequence where, if I recall, I'm a little foggy now because it's been a hot minute, but I think it was 15 out of 18 flights, but it may have been 13 out of 16 flights get canceled. I was just in a rut where it was like, I just need to stop traveling. Like, I need to not get on planes. And like, we had this one work event in a big city about 6 hours from me. And they were like, oh yeah, we'll get your flight booked. And I was like, no. I don't want you to book my flight. I want you, I'm going to drive. I want you to reimburse my gas. I just can't. I was just so infuriated at that moment. I was like, I cannot imagine flying. So, okay, I feel like I should put a sign. I guess you can't put a sign on the side of... I can put a sign right there. That looks kind of goofy. I want to put a menu in here. Maybe I do a half slab from the ceiling. Would look pretty decent. If I do birch here. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, I kind of like that sign. I'm going to do the spruce sign. I'm going to need a few more spruce signs to make this work. But yeah, we'll go ahead and make spruce. I need to put a sign on the outside of the building anyway. So I'm going to need more to distinguish the building. So, anyways, I had yet another question for you all. This series is a sequence of questions, which I implore you to engage with. It will greatly enhance your experience watching this series. But I was curious what games everyone has been playing lately. I've been very out of games, if I'm being honest, for like several years. And only recently, like kind of this year, I've been trying to get back in. Last year, I started playing games with my brother a bit more, which was really fun. We played some Satisfactory, which is like absolutely my kind of game. And then I have several siblings, so we all started. That kind of converted into like, oh, we'll do a sibling gaming time, which has been really good. We've been all having a good time. So we've been playing. We played through the Left 4 Dead games, which not all my siblings have played. Let's play a sign. This will be Pupusaria. Should we call it Pupusaria? Nabisco. I feel like I'm messing up. I feel like I'm sorry wrong right now. I feel like it's Nabisco. I'm sorry, I don't know his username. If it was the olden days, you know what I'd be typing. I'd be that Nabiscoxrar. Pupusaria Nabisco. Oh yeah, one more thing. Episode. Is this episode 5 already? Ooh, I'm a little lost. I think this is already. Yeah, I think this is episode 5. Episode 5. Here we go. Boom. Pupusaria Nabisco, episode 5. If that's episode 6, I'll change it in between videos here. Okay. Perfect. We're going to have on our menu, of course, we'll do items on the left. We'll do the classic. Frijoles y queso. That's the classic right there, everybody. Queso. Of course, gotta have the standard. We'll do. Oh, this is a tough word for me. Revuelta. I think it's revuelta. Or I'm sure if anyone speaks Spanish, you can correct me in the comments. Chicharron. Sorry for my spelling. All right. These are going to be. We're going to do El Salvador prices, not U.S. prices, where they're going to cost you like $2 each. Queso is going to be 50. Vuelta is probably also going to be 50. Chicharron. We'll do. I don't know. I feel like it's about the same actually. It's just that if you just get just beans, you usually get a good price too. So those will be our prices. And you know what we should have over here. I feel like I wish I could do like a handwriting font. We'll do case. Oh shoot, I'm blanking. Quesadilla. Holy crap! Why can't I spell quesadilla? Why can't I spell quesadilla? It's definitely quesadilla, right? With an A, quesadilla. This is so embarrassing. Quesadilla salvadoreña. I can't do an N yet right now, so it'll be quesadilla salvadoreña. We'll charge $2. That'll be the price for quesadilla salvadoreña. Beautiful. Oh, I feel like this really, I mean, the house is like important because I got to live somewhere, but this feels like the real start. Like this building here, like, okay, this is what IndieCraft is all about. This is the real start of the series right now, is this house right here. So I feel like this kind of says, I don't know. I'm pretty excited. Thank you, Nathalie, for such a fantastic build idea. Please also leave your suggestions down below. I'm going to keep talking, though, while I get some wood here, because I had more to say. So if you're enjoying the episode, please stick around. But even though the build is practically complete, I've been playing new games, though. So we did that. I've been playing Resident Evil 6, or Resident Evil 5. I've never played a Resident Evil game. It was not what I expected at all. I thought they were very serious horror games. There is I don't think it's meant to be taken seriously. Not like it's a joke, but it's an extremely lighthearted action game. It's been a good time. I've been playing through that. That's been a game I've been into. I've touched briefly last year towards the end on Roller Coaster Tycoon. That's one of my favorite games as a kid. Obviously, getting back into Minecraft. I'm failing my way through Paper Mario each and every week here on the channel. Nobody's watching me do that except my buddy Friesen. So that series is continuing out of pure resolve from myself to keep the series going. Not because it's a good series and not because anyone wants it, but because I'm still playing the stupid game, which is a great game. Don't get me wrong. But I just am like resolved to keep it going, despite maybe no one going to be sticking with me through watching it. I tried an MMO called Valorant recently. Only played it once. It's got a little bit of that like first time playing Minecraft effect where you're like, okay, I'm here, I see it. It looks impressive. There's a lot going on. What am I doing? And the Minecraft, I think, kind of solved that with achievements. It's hard for me to tell, obviously, because I didn't play Minecraft in that era for the first time, so I already knew the game. And now I don't know Minecraft at all, and there's tons of new stuff. It's shocking how much has been added to the game. But Valorant doesn't have that. There's a wiki. It's really a bit stressful to handle. So I love this snow. I'm really enjoying it. So anyways, that's what I've been playing. That's the thought I wanted. I feel like I started the thought. I had to finish it up before I ended the episode. So thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, how about you leave some cookie emojis down below? But we will all secretly know, those of us who made it till here, that those are Pupusa emojis at Pupusaria El Nabisco. Should we put an L in there just for no reason? Well, I guess we'll do La Pupusaria La Nabisco. There we go. It's Pupusaria La Nabisco. All right. I don't know why it's French Spanish, but it is. So Pupusaria La Nabisco. Thank you so much for watching. I've left you a lot of homework. If you guys don't leave 40 million comments on this video answering every single stinking question I've asked, what are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? But no, most importantly, leave your build suggestions. I will absolutely be doing another one here in the next video. I will collect some more resources off camera. We're going to be stacked up. Don't be afraid to ask for your wildest dreams. I probably will fail at delivering them, but I will deliver something, and that's the most important thing. So thank you all so much, and I'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye. IndieCraft Season 5, let's go!